Box back on Raid Shadow Legends, and one of my viewers was looking to make an unkillable team and said he had 2 man-eaters, so I was already excited. I did my first 2 man-eater team just the other day, so we already know we have what we need, right? We know we got what we need. He's got a lot of silver saved up. He's got champs gears, so we're going to be in good shape here. So first thing I wanted to do was dive in. What champions do we have for a team? And I was looking and I was like, man, we got some good champs. And then I hit the vault. Let's check out this vault. Wow, we got lots to choose from. Man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to go through here. I mean, I'm already seeing allied attacks everywhere. Some of the best. We might be able to get creative with this because I don't think this is going to be a good team. I think this is going to be an amazing team. So you're seeing the things I'm seeing, right? You're seeing all this. This is going to be fun. Absolutely fun. So I'm going to go ahead and do some exploring on my own and come back and see where we're going to land, who we're going to choose, and we're going to dive into this. Okay, I could probably sit around and make a new clan boss team every single day with some of these champions. So I pulled out different options. I saw Rio Bone Spear, but the thing is, she's actually going to do better on a non-unkillable, and we definitely want an affinity-friendly non-unkillable because we got 2 man-eaters, so that's the way we're going to go for sure. I'm looking for 1 key. Now, I haven't looked into gear yet. I don't know the kind of gear we're working with, but we definitely have the resources to roll gear up, and a lot of heroes we can move gear around on, so if we can get the right gear, I'm looking for a 1 key. Now, one thing we're so close to being able to make the Batman salad. We do have Mashalad, the salad himself, but we don't have Secret built up all the way. But we have so many options with allied attack. We need to get defense down, and Rosin's not booked. So I'm looking, we may use Rio Bone Spear. I have to look at my options on who's built that can keep defense down and bring damage, because Rosin would have done a lot more damage for me, but it would take a lot of books. So I'm going to explore who my hero is going to break defense at least, if not bring weaken. We don't have a lot of options on poison, not strong poison dealers. So I'm thinking we're going to have to go with raw damage, which shouldn't be a problem. But I'm looking at Longbeard, I'm looking at Kreela, and I'm thinking how many extra attacks can we get out of this team. I just want Longbeard brings weaken and increases our damage by 20%. That's fun. Kreela increases our crit. She brings in an allied attack. So I need to figure out who my last spot's going to be with my man-eaters. And we're going to do, I think, the simple, easy man-eater team, because I really think we've got enough the ability to push enough damage in here. So I'm going to do a little more exploring, and then we're going to get into it. Okay, I think I have my team, so time to roll up a bunch of gear. I'll explain why I chose who I chose, and I definitely know this is going to do amazing things, but I'm really hoping to be pushing or hitting a 1 key. I am quite sure we're going to get at least an easy 2 key on Ultra Nightmare. This is going to be a lot of fun. I thank you for letting me on this account. I'm going to be having a blast. I swear, we can make clan boss teams all day long with the heroes you have. All right, let me get busy. Okay, time to look at our team. Everybody's speed tuned. We'll give it a test in a minute. The reason I went with Farakin the Fat instead of bringing in, I was going to bring in Kreela. She's an amazing allied attack champ for this, but he brings that crit rate increase also. That'll help mainly our man-eaters. You'll see in a second, but he does the same as her, but he brings poisons and he brings HP burn. And we don't have a lot of poisoners to really work with, but Vizier is going to make sure that we keep every one of those HP burn and poisons up until the bar is full. So here's what we're going to do. We'll look at our builds. The speeds real quick. Man-eater 1, the fast one, 220. Pretty much on the dot. There's just a little bit of play, but that's where you want him. 219, 220. Man-eater number 2, 215. Pretty much on the dot. There's a little bit of play, but not much. Then our DPSers, we've got Vizier as our slow DPSer. I want him to go after we've landed poisons, after we've landed weaken, decreased defense from Farakin the Fat. He'll make sure they stay up forever, and he's the only one I'm going to do an adjustment to. We're going to turn off everything but his A1. That's all he has to do is hit with his A1. Longbeard, he's between 173 and 178, and Fracking the Fat is also between 173 and 178. So we do have a lot of attack on Longbeard. We've got almost 4,500, about 253% crit damage with almost full crit rate. And we're going to get that buff anyways. And he does have accuracy, so we can land that weaken. That's going to last forever if Vizier does his job. Vizier brings a little bit of RNG, but it's not going to matter on this team. He's going to do great. So Fracking the Fat, again, we've got accuracy. Make sure he's landing his debuffs. His attack, it almost 3,000, but we did get a lot of crit damage and good crit rate on him. He's going to hit pretty hard too. Vizier, just as well, over 250 crit damage. Not bad at all. Plenty of crit rate for doing this and a pretty good bit of attack, 3,500. So where the gear started falling short was finding good accuracy, attack chests with the speed on the man-eaters. It did start getting hard to find. So their attack, we got 2,700, 2,500. Not bad for a man-eater. Not in-game, but pretty close. They do have good crit damage, and I focused on that a little bit more than their crit rate because it will get buffed, and that's really all we had to do with them is get their speed rights. This is a strong team. Before we run it, this is going to be a strong team. So there's no doubt it's going to be unkillable. I'm going to name it unkillable and save it. Apparently it doesn't want me to have... Let me name it real quick. It doesn't like the exclamation point. So we're going to save this. It won't start on full auto. Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare both have their own setup. I real quick want to check masteries. I'll be right back after doing that. Vizier looks good. We're going straight into Giant Slayer. He's going to get a 3-hit every turn he takes, so that's going to add up to damage. He's getting his counterattacks. The only thing I would change is probably not worth doing is going ahead and getting Grim Resolve, but he's going to do absolutely fine. And Longbeard's looking good. He'll be getting some counterattacks. He goes into War Master, so everything is good there. Both of the Man-Eaters are getting their counterattacks. They're in War Master. They're both looking good. Okay, so if Fracking the Fat, he is set up totally fine for using, and I'm going to leave him because I didn't know I was actually working with Lore of Steel and the accuracy buffs, so that's where I've got him. We'll go ahead and leave it. We're not going to miss that much over a few counterattacks, but that's something we could do in the future. He's actually set up perfect for unkillable, though. He's got his Grim Resolve on, so I didn't have to change a single mastery. Let me get back to the clan boss and let's check this team out. Okay, it's time to test this team out. We're going to take it off auto. The only thing we've done in the setup is make sure that when we hit auto, Vizier will only use his A1. So the setup's pretty easy. We haven't tested this yet, but the setup should be Man-Eater number 1 will go A3 unkillable on the second turn count, which this is 0. Pay attention to that above the damage. On the second turn count, this Man-Eater will go unkillable. On the 4th turn count, this Man-Eater goes unkillable, and that's all you got to worry about. So we're going to keep it simple, just A1 for now. We are on an affinity to where, let's see, we might get some weak hits with Farakin, but it's going to be fine. So we're going to go ahead and try to place Weaken. We're going to go ahead and place some debuffs and start trying to increase them. Of course, we got a weak hit. And Vizier's always just going to extend those debuffs. So we're on turn count 1. We're not going to do anything fancy here. Ooh, put that back. We're just going to keep on getting on to our next big move, and this damage should ramp up quite a bit when things get going. So we're going Longbeard. Farakin should go. We'll get these allied attacks in, start getting that damage up, and then this is turn count 2. We go unkillable with the first Man-Eater. Extend that Weaken is all we got right now, and then we go ahead and wait till turn count 4 for the second Man-Eater. All that matters is the Man-Eaters. So go ahead and keep hitting this guy. This is 3. We're not going to do anything crazy here. Hopefully we land some debuffs. We got some. All right, now on turn count 4, that Man-Eater will go unkillable and we're done. Let's see. All right, so here we go. This one will not go unkillable. The second one will go unkillable, and we should actually be able to hit auto right now, and he'll go unkillable. So let's see if this works out. right here on turn count 5 at the end, Farakin or one hero will take a stun. So we don't want that hero to die. As long as Farakin's the one taking the stun, it looks like we're fine. But again, we'll put it back on auto. Let's enjoy this, because the damage should start to truly ramp up. If it wasn't Affinity, we get an easier test, but it is Affinity friendly. From that point on, we will always be unkillable with block debuffs up.
But you don't understand. I won't be here when you wake up again. You want an honest man, but you don't understand. I won't be here when you wake up again. You want an honest man, but you don't understand. I won't be here when you wake up again.
Okay, so that is awesome, and keep in mind, we are the weak affinity with Farakin the Fat. It took me till turn count 20 or 23 or something to even land decreased defense, and it took him forever to get those poisons on and got a lot of weak hits. So when it's not the blue affinity, he's going to do an amazing job on any affinity other than blue. So what do we got on damage? Our man-eaters, they're doing about 7 million apiece. That's good. Vizier not only is keeping those poisons up and that those debuffs up, but he's doing almost 8 million anyways himself. Longbeard pulling in about 7.5 million, and Farakin the Fat with those poisons, HP burn, and his allied attack and all that, even with weak hits, pulled in 16.5 million. I promise you it's going to do more than this. It's hard to say how much, but this is the worst affinity to land those debuffs and get things rolling. So that was a good hit. I'm definitely going to run it again and show a couple more results to see if we have better luck. I do want to mention the Spirit Affinity. That one stun that has to be taken, I'm going to put right here from Deadwood Jedi's site, the way to handle Spirit Affinity. You just do a different beginning rotation before you hit auto, and this will take care of it.
And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try.
Alright, so I'm going to real quick, it will work on Nightmare. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and show Nightmare so that you know how the setup goes. So on Ultra Nightmare, when you go in, you're going to do turn count 2. That's when you're going to go with the first man-eater, turn count 4 with the second. On Nightmare, we're going to go turn count 2 with the first man-eater and turn count 3 at the end of turn count 3 with the second man-eater. we'll watch that little setup real quick, and maybe we'll have better luck and see how the damage goes. Let's real quick get in here. So we're just gonna wait till turn count 2, and everybody else is gonna try to do their thing. So we'll get in here. Let's see if we have better luck landing all our debuffs. So right here, if we land anything, a weak hit again. See, this is the worst affinity for this. It's still gonna do huge damage, and we're always gonna A1 with him. So we're on turn count 1. We're gonna continue just hitting the boss. And maybe we can start landing debuffs at least sooner than we did last time. But still, the damage starts to ramp up so much. It's definitely going to be an amazing team. You're going to be proud to have it. All right, so we are on turn count 2. The first Maneater will go unkillable right here. And keep trying to increase these debuffs that we don't have. It's a shame. Now the second one will go unkillable at the very end of turn count 3, not the first. He goes twice on that turn, so we'll get to turn count 3 real quick, and you don't have to worry about a stun on Nightmare. So this is turn count 3. Hit your A1, and now you can hit auto because he'll go unkillable at the end of turn count 3. So I will skip to the end of this. Let's watch. I'll skip towards the end of it so we can see how it's landing, because right now we're getting debuffs sooner than we did last time. Hopefully we land a decreased defense before turn count 20, and we'll be doing a lot more damage. We did just land it on turn count 5, so everything's going to be better on this one. It'll be a better guide to how much damage we can do. All right, so right at 60 million on Nightmare. Usually, and it went better that time. Usually, it's about 5 million difference on Ultra Nightmare, somewhere in there. So, I mean, we're really looking at over 50 million. That's a pretty solid team. Now, I do want to mention that in the future, we've got potential of doing some really incredible things here. There is, like I say, you could take Shaled, and you could go ahead and build up Seeker. There is a Seeker. I found him in here. If we build out Seeker and do a Batman Salad, there's really high damage potential there. But honestly, this team right here rocks. And they have low speeds. It's easy to swap out gear if you get stronger gear, because their speeds are just so easy. To get that much damage with speeds of 215, 220, around 175 on 2 DVSers, and it has to be exactly 178 on Vizier. Exactly 168, sorry, exactly. But those speeds are so low and easy that we could increase gear as we go, and we got strong builds. I mean, we got real strong builds here. Definitely not that we're weak. The Maneaters, they could be stronger. One warning I have is the speed on this Maneater is tight. And if we roll this up, you could roll it up some, but if you hit speed again, we'll have to change gear. We had to stop there, and this one you could roll up and hope to get maybe some crit rate out of it. This one we want to be careful. If we roll it up and we land speed as the last stat, it'll mess us up again. So I'm kind of leaving him where he is. And on this other Maneater, I went through all your gold, your silver, but it's worth it to have a team that's going to work on any affinity. But this right here, it could be rolled up, and that will give you some more attack percentage for him. And there is this attack. Yeah, get a little more attack out of your ring. Other than that, everybody else is rolled up and strong as can be. These guys are hitting hard. It's a really good team. You do have other options. You got other, there's a Seeker. We could one day do a 2-for-1 team and probably up this damage if you build Seeker out. But, you'll have to recoup some of your silver, and we'll just swap some gear over to him and make it work. But the speeds are much higher. I don't think we could actually accomplish them right now with the gear we have. They're we're looking at speeds at like 280. So that would be tough. But this is an absolutely solid team. So close to a 1 key. I mean, so close. I'd like to hear how it does on Void and other affinities. Be sure to read that information when you're up against the Spirit affinity, because it will put a slow on you if you're not blocking them until you're fully unkillable. So it's a different little setup only for Spirit Affinity. Hopefully you'll get used to that, and hopefully it won't happen to you too often. Amazing team. If you get early hits, you won't have to worry about it. You'll be done. You'll have your keys done. Super cool. And this will work on Brutal as well. Let me real quick find that setup. So if you're going to run Brutal, all you got to do is hit Unkillable on turn count 1 with the first Maneater, turn count 2 with the second, and it's over. That's all you got to do. I'm not sure if it's Kyson or Kaysen, but thank you so much. You've been amazing as a viewer. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. But this was a pleasure. It was worth. We used all your resources as far as silver goes, but it was totally worth it because now you got something you don't have to worry about anymore. You can go in, hit the clan boss, and just finish him off. I really wish I could have seen it on Void. Void Affinity would have been nice. But yeah, you're gonna be right at the top of the charts. So I appreciate it. Thank you all for sitting through it. And until next time, enjoy the grind.